Okay, call the meeting to order, and we'll stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can we do the roll call, please?
Yes. Ms. White?
Here.
Ms. Webster? Here. Mr. Morrow? Here. Mr. Denise?
Here.
Mr. Drumheller? Miss Drumheller, I'm sorry.
Here.
Mr. Renzi?
Present.
I was thinking of Mr. Allen, and he is not here, so we'll mark him however. Thank you.
Thank you. We have announcements and agenda modifications. As I know several people did not get this packet, so is there anyone that sees anything that they want to add to the agenda?
If nobody has anything, I have a few announcements to make.
Okay.
Wanted to make note that the North County Master Plan meeting is November 9th, 7 p.m., North County Library. Hope everybody can be in attendance. I wanted to suggest that we cancel November's meeting and move it to December 18th. It's 2 weeks away. I don't think we'll have a lot to talk about in 2 weeks. But if you strongly feel the need to have it, we'll definitely have it.
Okay, where did you say this was going to be on November 9th?
That is the North County Library.
It says City of Sebastian Council Chambers, 7 p.m. That's the flyer I got.
Then we have two conflicting. I'll send you an email with the correct.
Well, it's this one?
Yes.
Yes. It does say council
It says
chambers.
Okay,
here,
then
so
that would be correct.
Then we don't have to go to Vero.
Yes.
Okay.
We don't have to go to Vero anyway.
No, it would be at the North, so
It
do
says-
we know that it is at the North County Library?
That was the information that was given to me, but
This
if
is the
that's
flyer.
what's on the flyer, I will go with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it says here in the chambers at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
On November 9th. Good.
Okay.
So you guys can discuss whether you'd like to have a meeting in November on the 18th, or
So if we miss the November meeting, the next meeting will be December?
December 18th.
18th, okay.
That would be fine.
How do y'all feel? We had 2 meetings this month because of the getting the playground equipment for to console for that member. Everybody?
Oh, December 18th.
December 18th.
Yeah, so we would forego a November meeting. Any discussion?
No?
No.
Okay. Do we need a motion for that?
I believe so.
Okay, can I have a motion to,
I'll make a motion.
To
I'll make a motion to cancel the meeting in November, and have a meeting
just a regularly scheduled in December?
in December.
Is there a
December
second?
18th. I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we got a month off, woo-hoo. The next, do you have any more announcements?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Approval of the minutes from our October 2nd meeting. Would y'all like a minute to review?
Yes, please.
Does anyone have any modifications?
Well, I will make a motion to, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the previous meeting.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Public input. Don't see anyone here. Is there anyone on Zoom?
Not this time.
Thank you so much. Unfinished business, current projects update.
Okay, the current projects we're physically working on right now, The War Memorial, we're just about done, we're about 90% done with the completion of that project. We took all the plants out. It was, I don't know if you've been there lately, it looked pretty putrid, to say the least. Under the direction of the city manager, we pulled all the plants out, added irrigation, and replaced it with red ixoras, white guaras, and a few viburnums. So the colors will be red, white, and blue. So going along with the theme of America, the United States. So we're just about done with that, and we had the installation of the Easy Street, the ladder that goes up to the top, that was installed. We're still waiting for the arm on the right side of the swing to be replaced, but it's functional and not debilitated at all, so people are allowed to use it. Still structurally sound. The Filbert Street project is expected to begin on or about the 14th. I know that's later than we'd hoped for, but that's the best commitment I could get speaking with their installers. And I think that's it for the project updates.
Okay. Committee member park updates. Do you want to start?
Why, sure, Madam Chair. My 3 areas of responsibility, the yacht club, pickleball courts, and the Main Street boat ramp, all good shape. I do want to ask Antoine, are you aware of this large alligator there at Stormwater?
Yeah, we're aware there's, I think there's 3 over 6 feet. One's almost 10 feet, I think.
Yeah.
We've notified the FWC, and they're currently out there monitoring it.
Excuse me, where is that?
Stormwater.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I went by Hardy Park and it looks good. I haven't been to the ball fields, I'm sorry. But Hardy Park looks really good.
Easy Street Park, kids are loving that playground. It's been a lot busier than I've seen it in some years. And the parents, I mean, there's a lot of families there. And now that I'm walking every morning, I get to check out the ducks and the picnic tables and whatever. We have almost 50 ducks in that park. I was very surprised, but I counted them. But no, the park looks really good. Things are good. People use that park a lot. It's a nice park. And the playground, like I said, it's great.
Is it good to have that many ducks?
I don't know. When I came back, I haven't quite figured out where these younger dark brown ducks are. There's like 8 of them. Like they're all brothers and sisters, but I don't see parents that match those very much. So I don't know. And at night sometimes we have these Egyptian ducks, the brown ones. They're kind of cool looking. But some of them actually leave the park and they go like in the neighborhood. I don't know if they're like staying in people's backyards, and then in the morning you see them come back across the road. And the other thing about having the ducks, even though they drive me crazy at times, is they slow the traffic down. We've tried everything with signs, but when the ducks are walking across, the cars will stop. It's about the only thing I've seen do that. Is there any way we can get, though, a permanent flashing speed sign? I know they have portable ones that they had one in my yard one time, but they move them around. And I know the neighbors are still upset about the cars speeding. I did see a police car parked there for a few minutes one day in the parking lot because the traffic is fast. I mean, we've gone through this whole thing of speed bumps, and I don't think there's any way. They came and did evaluations on how much traffic, and there's not enough speeding cars that they can justify putting up whatever, more stop signs or whatever. So maybe having a permanent, because I see they have one on what is that street going down, south, on Wimbrow, no, is it Wimbrow? The one that goes through Collier Creek. Is that Wimbrow? Anyway, they've got a permanent one on there, because they have a long road too, but if we could get one, and I don't even care if it's in my yard or whatever, but something where the cars are coming from from US, from 512, past the park, going that way. Because once they get, and the other way too, when they come past the school flashing things, as soon as they're past that, then they're going down to 512, past the park.
So are you suggesting maybe a speed monitoring sign?
Yes, but a permanent one, not one that
Right,
gets
one that
moved.
stays there
Right.
permanently.
Yeah, somewhere there, but does it flash on both sides?
I think it only flashes on one, but I'll have to check.
Okay.
The ones we have installed, like on Engler, they flash on one side.
Okay. I'll get back to you on that, because the neighbors had talked to me about it the other day. They said, nothing's really happened. So I'll ask them if they feel it should be coming from 512, or if it should be coming the other way, towards the park off of Main. But whatever we can do to slow the traffic down, because we do get a lot of families and kids and dogs and ducks and there at the park. But otherwise, the park's doing great.
Thank you. Filbert Park, not seeing as much action, obviously, because there's nothing there except to walk around, look at the turtles. But Periwinkle Park is really picking up. I'm seeing lots of weekend folks out there taking advantage of the picnic tables. It's a nice, quiet park, and there's a gator in that.
Oh,
There's about a 6-foot gator in there, because I walk there regularly. But he hasn't come out of the water. He's just like cruising around. And the garden park is okay. It's okay.
let me go back to Easy Street. Can you put a note out to the police department if they, have to do paperwork, or if they would just come and park in that parking lot, off and on during the days, whenever they can, it really does make a difference. Thank you. Sorry.
Oh,
Mr. Lindsay?
yeah. So, Riverview Park is always in great shape, and it still is. It's a wonderful place, shady, beautiful, terrific view of the river, and everybody enjoys it. Friendship Park is fine, no problems there. And Stormwater Park's got alligators. That's it.
As of a week ago, I haven't been here the past week. The parks look good, very good. There was, at the tennis courts, there's some concerns about losing some of their courts to pickleball or something. And I told them that hasn't come up yet. But I think some people feel I'm a traitor because I voted to expand pickleball. So, but the parks look good as of a week ago.
Some of those folks that are a little nervous about tennis need to know that one of the ways that you keep all the courts is to make sure that you voice your opinion and that they're utilized well. So, no asking, no getty, right? Okay, so upcoming events at Riverview Park.
All right, I'll take you up through December, the end of December, if that's okay with you guys.
Sure.
Won't be too long of a list. So we have Friday, October 27th, this Friday. We have the Halloween event and the movie night. I heard about 3 or 4 of you will be there to be judges and help out. That would be fantastic.
How many are going for judging?
I'll be there.
Okay.
What time do you want us there?
We start registration at about 6, and everything will take place around 6:30, quarter to
Oh,
7.
that's not enough time, I don't think, is it?
So where would you like us to meet?
Right down by the stage, there'll be there'll be a place for you, for the judges to sit
Okay,
under a canopy, and we'll just meet right there,
okay.
and we'll give you the evaluation numbers, and we'll,
Do you have the sheets, the ones that Brian or they used last year for the evaluating?
I'll bring them.
But are they the ones from last year?
They are.
We've gone through this every year. We've
They are.
been changing it, and I think it worked.
I think they were better last year
Yes,
than the year before.
yes, last year. Otherwise, it was way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Numbers.
so really, you just mark down, the 5 in each category you felt were the best. I'll come through and tally up who has most number 66s, and that will be the winner, and we'll second place for the next number.
Are we doing a family one too?
Yes,
Okay,
Oh, that'd be that'll be fun.
because we had the,
Is it in the same spot?
yes, Twin Piers.
and where are they setting up the movie?
The movie will be at the north end of the Twin Piers,
Okay,
so they'll put their screen up right there, the police department, and they'll show the movie there.
and that starts at
I think it starts
7, maybe?
right about 7.
Yeah, once it gets dark.
So,
About 8 o'clock.
before the judging, before the 6 PM, there's activities in the park though?
Right, so this year, we have a Jeep group that's bringing 20 to 25 Jeeps that will park on the street.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And they'll do a trunk or treat.
At what time?
Uh,
5?
they're gonna get there about 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And I'm sure they're very eager to help.
Huh,
And
that's
it was
great.
really nice to run across them. They've raised about $1,500 so far for
Wow.
candy, so that's a lot of candy. We're gonna have to try to outdo them a little bit.
Yeah.
So is the road gonna be closed?
It'll be closed from Harrison Street to the Sportsman,
Like in the front there?
Okay.
just that front area,
I'm
so,
just trying to figure my way back. from-
right, so people can
Park it.
walk without getting hit.
Okay, so I need to come up by
If you come up,
bar.
yes, and then park in the big parking lot? Yeah. Okay. What are you dressing as?
I'm gonna hopefully dress to be myself, unless my boss states otherwise, then I'll dress accordingly, however he likes.
What date is that?
It's,
Friday the
Friday.
Okay.
Friday's the 28th, 7th, correct?
Mhm.
Then, the next day, Saturday and Sunday, they have Hiram's Hall down at Riverview Park in the Twin Piers area. It's a kayak launch area. The Junior Blue Water Open is renting the park pavilion that day, the 28th. And the clam bake is Friday, November 3rd through the 5th. And then we have the Craft Club event, November 11th. Veterans Day event as well in the park. Come out and look at our beautiful new plants. And then November 12th, Craft Club will be in Riverview Park again. Sebastian Art Club will host in Riverview Park the 18th of November.
Jeez.
And Thanksgiving Day is November 23rd. Thursday, November 23rd is AA Alcohol-a-thon in the community center. That's 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then we have Kris Kringle Market, November 24th, Riverview Park, through the 25th and the 26th.
Is that like craft things or?
Yeah, it'll be like a Christmas market.
Okay.
Then we'll have a light up night for the US 1 merchants on Friday, December 1st. Saturday, December 2nd is the Rotary Brew Fest at Riverview Park and the Christmas Parade in Riverview Park, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for the parade.
And that's December
2nd.
2nd? Okay,
Yes.
hold on here. And that's the parade from 6 to 8, you said?
Yes. It'll begin at the Main Street boat ramp and continue into Riverview Park.
Okay, cool.
Then December 7th, we have Pearl Harbor Day. That's at the Veterans Memorial. Then December 9th, we have the Craft Club event. And Friday, December 15th to the 17th, we have Barb Snow's Winter Wonderland. Sebastian PD has Christmas movies in the park on December 15th also. At the Twin Piers area, same place we'll have the movie night for Halloween. Wreaths Across America is Saturday, December 16th, and our City of Sebastian awards ceremony is also on the 16th.
Of December, that's for
Yes.
the kickoff for the 100-year?
Yeah, it's just the awards, the employee awards banquet type thing, where if you're an employee of the city,
Oh, okay.
you go to this awards banquet, and if you win an award, they call you up and
And where's that at?
that is at can't remember the name.
That's okay,
Yeah, I'll bring it back to you
that's okay.
next meeting.
Busy.
Yes. Then once again on the 24th, we have the Alcathon, and that's 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. And Coastal Community Church, it will also be there Sunday, December 24th. Christmas Day is the 25th. Alcathon, once again, 12 to 8 p.m., 12 a.m. to 8 p.m. Let me rephrase that, on Monday, December 25th. And once again, Alcathon AA, Sunday, December 31st. And that takes you all the way through the events.
Do you know where they're setting up the clam bake this year?
This year, there's only going to be one small change. We're going to move where we keep their food truck, the big truck that they haul food out of. We're going to move that from the no-name area, side of the street by Harrison, move it over onto Sebastian Boulevard, and set it up along the, right along the road, across
Good,
from
'cause
Speedway.
So many people said they didn't know it was happening last year because it was down on the river.
Right, this
And,
year
yeah.
I decided to move it back.
Good.
And I think it's a better, more hometown feel.
Yep.
You, under the oaks where I
Yep.
think it should be.
Yep, you're right.
And then if
Good.
they have tables set up for them to eat on, I know there's never really enough tables and stuff for people to
I
sit.
don't know what their plan is. Typically, they
yeah.
used to bring in the little wooden tables
Mm-hmm.
and people would eat on there. So I would assume it would be something similar to that.
Good.
Okay.
And what's the Alcathon?
The Alcathon, it's for the AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. It's their time to go in and, just be supportive of their desire not to drink. And they get together and support each other in that respect.
Well, it sounds like Riverview Park is booked through New Year's, isn't it?
Yep.
Totally. Okay. All right, so what's happening? Any pickleball updates for us?
The pickleball update is I think it's going to be better handled at the November 9th meeting, where we'll have a complete discussion, and you can see the county's view and ask a lot of questions. You'll have more answers than questions on that date. You'll see the direction that the county plan is. And it's a 10-year plan, and it's going to take about 10 months for them to begin that plan. So I think while you're attending the meeting, you'll really get a good feel for what is going to happen and what you want to happen.
Okay.
When we speak, because I'm going to come to this, so if I want to speak on this about pickleball courts, do I introduce myself as on Parks and Recreation?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm on Parks and Rec, and we find the need, there's our residents in city. But my thing is, but my point's gonna be is that our pickleball courts are not just city people playing there. There's people coming from VLE, from other places, so I'm gonna push that, it's a community type thing, and they should put them out there, that's what I feel. The other one is I'll talk about the bike trail, that extending that out to Fellsmere. And the other sore spot is extending it on Indian River Boulevard. It should go all the way to US 1. And I know that people that live there have a hard time, but people are riding bikes in the road. And so anyway, I'll bring that up. But so when I do talk the bike thing, do I always say that I'm Parks and Rec?
You can state that.
But I don't want to state that, that I'm saying something that maybe they don't agree with. Do you know what?
I think the more times you say it, the more times it hits home with them and they understand
Okay.
how important it is.
I hope those pickleball people show up too,
I do
to
too.
be there.
Is the intergenerational center in South County a county project?
Yes.
I think we need to talk about that for here also.
What's in that?
A similar type of, it's a community center, but it has a lot of services under one roof, and it really supports services for kids, teens. They have seminars there, they have classes there, they have support groups there. It's our community center, or over here, is more like people go in, they play bridge and stuff, but there's really not a place where people can just go in and meet and support each other or start a conversation or do different things. So is that something that has been talked about? I mean, is that something to bring up at this meeting?
Keep bringing everything up. That is something Mr. Benton had me express quite a bit about at the meeting. Our need for not only a gymnasium, but a gymnasium with meeting rooms and places, to host gatherings where people could go and, not only learn about what's going on, but also, reserve rooms to
For clubs.
meet and have clubs, and not only just a gymnasium.
There is a website for the Intergenerational Center, so if you're planning on going to the meeting, take a peek at it, because you can see how active that has become.
What's it called though, if you pull it up? Is it under their parks? What's it under?
I would just Google Vero Beach Intergenerational Center, and it will bring it up. It might be somewhere on the county site, but I've always just gone directly to their website.
The town that I lived in, up north, one of the things they did, they used the school facilities. I mean, they used the school gyms for rec basketball or indoor soccer, but they also would offer classes, like painting classes or stained glass classes, and adults and young people would go to those. And it was always fun to look forward to see what classes were being offered, and they had people that would teach it, and you paid like a small fee to take the class. And I really kind of miss that, and I would hope something like this, having a meeting place, they could do that.
I do think one of the things that we need to drive home as members of this committee is that when you look at this center and you look at the population density of North County, and South County's getting there, but there's nothing like this type of presence in our area that has a very higher density and demographics. So, and I think we need to keep pushing that our population needs to have the same considerations as Vero Beach and South County have received.
Don't you think at times we think of Sebastian as our small little city here?
Well,
But we're surrounded by county population who use
Well,
our
we've tried to
facilities.
keep the, you know, I mean, seriously, we tried to keep the little fishing village
yeah.
going.
That's
but-
gonna end.
But, you know, when you look at the population here, we deserve as much funding this way and pay as much of those fees as any other resident in the county, so.
So,
Vicki,
look,
what was that site in Vero Beach?
It's the intergenerational center.
Big red building on
What is it,
Oslo,
Vero Beach?
big red building.
so the county has, I mean, that property by the pool area, all
lot
that
of
out
property
there,
out
I mean,
there.
that's actually nice that we could be able to do that. So, okay, I'll speak, but I just didn't know, when I go to speak on this, do I say who I am and I'm on the committee?
Maybe we could, with all the building that's going on and development of residential areas, we could talk one of these builders into putting in a parcel side of it to build a large building like that.
Well, the only thing is, I'm gonna just tell you, being on this committee, it won't be in the city. Nobody wants to be built next to anything else. But if they have land out there, it should be a county. It should be a county building.
Yeah.
Because it services everybody, the city and the surrounding.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we really have that much land left here in Sebastian that is big enough for traffic and to hold something
That's a
that
really
way.
good spot out there.
It's great
And
out there
It's close to
because
Fellsmere, it's close
parking
to Sebastian.
and it's off the highway. Yeah.
And it also is a great service spot for Vero Lake Estates and Fellsmere. You know, really a close spot for them to come out. And the North County Pool has an awful lot going on with
Yeah.
different meets. So, yeah, well,
Okay, so we can speak
I'm
on
happy
that.
everybody
Good.
is gonna plan on being there. That's a good thing.
Okay.
New business, let's discuss resolution R 2333.
Okay, so if you take a look at the resolution, it addresses how much the cost of each facility will be. And I do believe the city managers moved forward on this.
I have a question. I just went through this and circled, how much did these get raised and about? I know each event or number of people, the price is different. For like the one for fees for Riverview Park, 75 to 300, it says non-refundable 400, application fee per day, and 200 refundable. So how much, do you know how much those changed?
I don't have that information in front of me.
Okay.
I do think they went up considerably.
And the reason? Because of?
They did a survey of the county and the cities around us, and we took that information and brought it to the council, and the council approved the rate adjustment based on the surrounding cities and counties and what they were getting for what they were providing.
So we aren't making a recommendation then? It's already been?
Right, this is resolution, I think, has already been to city council.
Okay.
I was not at that meeting.
Antoine, it's Brian. Antoine, can you hear me?
Yes.
So just to clarify, sorry, this is Brian Benton.
Hey, Brian.
Just to clarify, the resolution is going to council this Wednesday. So, we would like a recommendation from the committee, in support of this resolution going to council for Wednesday night. We were on a tight timeline to get this to you all. We had received direction from council to look into the fees that we were charging for rental of Riverview Park, Community Center, Yacht Club, and our park pavilions. And, so they wanted it to come back pretty quickly to them. And based on that, then that's the reason that it's coming to you all on a Monday, and then it's already on their agenda for this Wednesday, so they have seen this information as well. In regards to the questions on fees prior to, the park events, which are less than 300 people, our current rate is rental, without tax, not including tax, is only $100 a day. And a special event is only $200 a day. So you'll see the prices have increased pretty dramatically compared to that, but when you think of a large event coming in, and they're able to rent the park for $200 for a Saturday, and they fill the park with, vendors that they're charging, then, $200 is very small charge. And, instead of kind of going based on every single thing that's included in the park, we just decided to do a one fee for the rental of the park, and that's where the special event got increased to $800 from $200, and the park event got increased from $100. And then the same thing at the yacht club and the community center, those rates went up, $100 to $150 for rental as well.
Are we, I'm sorry. Are we close to what Vero Beach then is charging for things like this?
So I can say, I don't believe anywhere around us quite has a venue like Riverview Park with the view of the river and, the lagoon and that setting underneath the oaks. But I will say if you were to rent, say Vero Beach, and you started to add up additional things, they charge for power, they charge for, just every little thing. I don't know that they have a stage, but, when you start to add all those things up, their fee is still higher than ours. However, if you just walk in and rent it with nothing, then I think theirs is probably a little lower. But most people are gonna have those added amenities to their, rental.
Do we have to pay then, we pay for security then, right?
We do not. The person that's renting the park pays the security fee.
Okay, that's a separate bill then?
And that depends on how many participants are expected, then they have to hire, Sebastian police.
One police officer for 150, two
So,
police officers for
Brian, when was the
300.
last time that these rates were increased?
The resolution that I'm going off of that's been revised for this one, I believe it's on the very first page of the resolution. I apologize, I don't have it in front of me, but I think it was R-10-15, and that would mean that it would have been 2010 was the last resolution regarding the fees for these facilities.
Well, with everything, it's not unreasonable to me.
It's a lot of work.
I look at the things that I was most concerned about is the public use facilities that people that have like a 50th anniversary party at the yacht club, or, they were bringing family in, 45 or 50 people, and that's still the 4-hour rate of $175 is extremely reasonable. I think the community center, the flat rate fee, I think the resident rates are reasonable, and the additional hour is not out of line for current prices of trying to do events anywhere. Most of the larger fees, like for the days at the Riverview Park, I mean, most folks, and by the way, if you read into this, if it's a not-for-profit, it's half of the fee. So for people that are raising money on the not-for-profit, it's already put into this resolution. But for the for-profit, like Christmas things and stuff like, you can't get near Riverside Park in Vero Beach for these prices and have a river view. So I really support us raising it, because there's, people are walking around the park, there's lots that sometimes you have to resod after these events, there's lots of cleanup even if they do a decent job in trying to keep it as tidy as possible. So I really support this change.
May I say something here?
Certainly.
So, hi, Brian, Dante Renzi. I don't think that fee for Riverview Park is high enough. I think that should be about a $1,200 fee for that park. You're bringing vendors in there, 50, 100 vendors, you're gonna make money, whoever's using it. I think that fee is too low at $400. The other fees seem reasonable for the resident rates there. But that Riverview, I think we should get more for that.
A lot of the big things at Riverview Park, though, are nonprofit.
Like the clam bake,
Shrimp Fest or River Days. I don't know about the craft club,
no.
but they probably wouldn't.
They're not,
I don't know
no.
how they would do with $1,200.
I think she's right. I think the big events, the The big ones are nonprofit, the clam bake and so that money goes out back to the community.
What about the vendors that come in?
They pay
Everybody's making money.
Yeah, but they also pay in, they give a percentage, don't they? Or don't
they pay the,
The organization.
yeah, like they pay the clam bake to, it's like a sponsor, but they pay.
They pay a
the clam bake.
sponsorship fee to the not-for-profit for their ability, to go there. So I'm sure that they're paying pieces of that. I'm not really, I've not been with an organization to know the really logistics of how they put it. So I'm kind of with you about Riverview Park is a pearl,
Yeah,
but
it's a big
this
space.
this is a raise of probably, Brian, isn't this like 100% raise over what the current fees are?
So I think if you look at it, it's about 300% increase in the cost for, the special event and the park event fees. And just to clarify, so that we don't get it too confused, we do have contract agreements with Clam Bake, River Days, 4th of July, Fine Arts and Music Festival, and they do not pay the city a rental fee for those 4 city-sponsored events. So those, and the reason for that is the great benefit those events are to the community. So it draws people to our community to visit Sebastian, obviously, but then a lot of the money that's generated, just for clarity, in those events, I'll use Clam Bake as an example upcoming, because it was one of the first questions I ever asked when I came to Sebastian is, well, we're giving them this for nothing, but in looking at what exactly they do, so they generate money that comes from their vendors, from selling of the food. All of that then gets donated to nonprofit organizations through their Clam Bake Foundation, their recreational foundations, and different things. And they also have different youth groups from the high school, different nonprofits in the community that donate people, volunteers to work these events so that they don't have to hire staff. So it is all volunteer-based for those city-sponsored events, and all that money gets put back into the community via nonprofits or, for instance, the rowing club at the school, the wrestling team at the school, high school. All those different things get funneled back into the community, so the city does not charge them a fee.
I have a question. When the chamber does their music night, do they pay a fee? How does that work for them? When it's,
So we also have an agreement with the chamber, in which they do not pay a fee as well.
okay.
If,
You want to make a
does
motion?
anyone else feel like Riverview Park is underpriced? I know you said.
I do.
I know Mr. Renzi does. Do you think that we're,
I mean, I think it's maybe something that we should review every couple years.
yeah, that's what
You know, instead of waiting such a long time.
Who would be somebody that would, Brian, who would be somebody that would pay a rental fee for there?
so I think.
A perfect example would be, an event that just happened this weekend, Barb Snow Boo Bash. That event pays a rental fee. The upcoming, she runs, I think, 4 events in the park now, 4 or 5. And then we also do have other rentals. I mean, we get approached by quite a few outside entities that want to rent the park. And one of the things with these fees that we've looked at is, for one, it's a lot of wear and tear on that park. If you go down there now and look at the condition of the park, and then you see once we get through the season where there's something every single weekend just about at that park gets beat up pretty good. And even with the work of our park staff trying to maintain it and keep up on it, it's a lot of wear and tear on the park. And so I think at a certain element, we have to protect what the city has and, you know, either charge higher fees so we then have more money to, you know, assist with the upkeep, or it may, you know, prevent a couple of events from happening at the park. And I don't want to stop events, but I think when it's the same things over and over and over again, then it gets to be a little redundant. So I just wanna, that's the reason we're looking at this, and you may be correct, we may not be raising it enough. However, it was just kind of based on looking at it and not going such a huge jump. I mean, we haven't changed the rates since 2010 based on the resolution. So it's something that we can start to look at every 2 years or adjust from there if we see it needs to be adjusted.
Well, maybe raising it to $1,200 would slow people down from renting it.
But I don't know if it would. Look, what if we just check every 2 years? I think you guys probably have a good handle on what you think the prices and things should be. What about the Art Association having their weekend art? They're not a nonprofit, are they? The big one, the big art.
So the Fine Arts and Music Festival that happens in January, is that what you're referring to?
Right.
It is a city-sponsored event, so we have an agreement with them.
I couldn't understand
It's a
you.
city-sponsored
Oh,
event.
it's a city-sponsored? Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Well,
Does anyone want to make a motion, or I'll make a motion?
I will make a motion that we accept the, do we need to do that?
Yeah.
So we accept the rate changes for how they are, for all the parks, or for all the rate changes that they have in this resolution. I make a motion that we accept resolution R 2333.
Yeah, that we recommend to city council that they adopt this resolution. is
Yes.
What we're, okay.
I'll second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
John Denise abstains from voting.
Dante Renzi abstains.
Thank you. So the motion passes. You want to talk about changing our name?
Yay.
Yes, so the Leisure Service Department name change, the city manager, as part of his citywide evaluation process, made the decision to change the name from Leisure Service Department to the Parks and Recreation Department. This change is based on the employee resident feedback and difficulties residents face in finding the contact information for the department, staff, and staff will work in the coming weeks to get all of the verbiage changed to accurately reflect this change.
Didn't it used to be Parks and Rec?
Yes.
It did.
And somebody changed it to
It was
Leisure
when
Services?
Brian came, he wanted to be Leisure Services.
I know.
No, I think leisure services is, all I can think of is the men's leisure suits of the 80s. And I think we're a little bit beyond that now. So Parks and Rec sits well with me, for
I
sure.
vote yes on this one.
Madam Chair, can I make a recommendation that we accept that then? Thank you.
Well, I will second it.
Well, that sounds good. Anything, anybody have anything else before, any other questions? So in December 18th, can we still, agenda item, maybe a post-county meeting discussion about pickleball, just see what's going on there? Can we add that to the agenda, keep that on the
A
agenda?
discussion of this?
Madam Chair, did we vote on my motion?
Do we need to vote on the Leisure Service Department change, or was that just something you were informing us?
We're gonna,
The change, that change has been made.
Okay,
No vote required.
okay. They did it without us. All right. Okay, so our next meeting is going to be Monday, December 18th at 6 p.m. here. Hearing no other questions, this meeting is adjourned.